ontological necessity connecting thinking with the finite subject as Descartes merely presumed. He did not prove that. Again, as previously explained, Aristotle did not presume that thinking was the activity of a finite subject. He conceived thinking as the pure self-activity of the absolute. Noesis, noesios, noesis. Thought, thinking, thought. The modern dogmatic presumption that a finite subjective thinker is needed for the activity of thinking is not the basis for Platonic and Aristotelian philosophies, although that is missed by most modern philosophers of ancient philosophy because of the inherent finite subjective perspective that is the characteristics of modern period. In order to rise above the perspective presumption to the absolute platform requires a completely revolutionary shift. As it is sometimes said of Plato, philosophy is learning to die. One has to transcend their present first-person conception of the finite self as a starting point and understand it is something to be arrived at or derived from the absolute perspective. This means that philosophy acknowledges that there is a first person or absolute thinking that is not one itself, that is not oneself. In the Vedic tradition, that is called the Adi Purusha. Religion understands this as God, and Aristotle also called it theos. The first proposition is that thinking can think itself without need of a finite spirit. After all, we do not know how we think, what bodily part in the brain or otherwise produces thought. Does this sunset produce the thought of sunset? It seems strange to think that something like sun setting below the horizon can cause thought. Nothing of the non-thought world of existence can cause thought. This has been called the hard problem of philosophy. This problem can be traced back to Descartes, which will be outlined briefly in what follows. Next, we have to understand how pure thought or absolute thinking that thinks itself, that has its own initiative within itself without the need of a finite subject. This difficult problem is addressed by Hegel in his Science of Logic. It involves the dialectical relation of concepts to their opposed conceptions. That is a subject in and of itself, which I will not address here. Hegel shows that starting from the most basic thought being, all other categories or concepts such as the finite subjective thinker and consciousness or mind can be understood. If we start from the Descartes' cogito ergo sum, we can understand that his identity of thinking being as the first principle divides itself into two sides, thinking and being, where thinking is abstracted from its identity with being and identified with consciousness, these res cogitans, and being with the material world with res extensus, or content of that consciousness. This creates the hard problem as mentioned before. What this says is that the first principle thinking being is not the object of consciousness, but the source or the origin